Lesson 28, converting improper fractions to mixed numbers. So remember, if we want to pass these improper fractions to mixed numbers, all we have to do is divide. So in this case, what we have to do is divide 13 into 5. With the 13 goes inside and the 5 on the outside. The 13 is the one being divided. So we can do 2, because 5 times 2 is 10, and we have 3 as our remainder. So it's very easy. What we are saying with this division is that we can make 2 whole units with the 13 pieces, but we're going to have 3 leftovers, and then we keep the denominator the same. So that's it. Very, very simple. Let's do the next example. Again, we're going to divide 27 into fourths. And in this case, we can almost make 7 whole units, but we're 1 short. So we do 6 times 4, which is 24. And again, we have remainder 3. So in this case, we can make 6 whole units. And then we have the remainder, which is 3. And then we keep the same denominator. Very, very simple. Now in this case, we want to do the opposite. We want to go from mixed numbers to improper fractions. And what we have to do is we have to multiply in this direction and then add the remainder. So we multiply and add. If you think about it, it comes from the division that we just did. We have to multiply and then add the remainder. So 3 times 8 plus 1. And all of that over the same denominator. So 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25 eighths. And that's our answer. Same thing here. We have to multiply and then we have to add. So in this case, we multiply 5 times 7 plus 4. And again, we have the same denominator, the 7. So it's going to be 35 plus 4, 39 sevenths. In this next example, what we have to do is convert to decimal numbers. So what we have to remember is that this is 107 and 1/6. The whole part is going to be the 107. That won't change. Then we have the decimal point, and then the whatever that 1/6 represents. So we have to divide 1 divided by 6. In this case, we can, so that's 0. And then we put the decimal and add a 0. And that's going to be 1, which we have 4 left over. Bring down another 0, which will be 6, which is 36. And then we have another 4. So the 6 is going to be repeating. So remember that in a mixed number, what we're doing is adding the whole part with the decimal. So when we convert it to the decimal number, it's the same. We just have to add the 107 plus the decimal we found here, which then just would put the 1/6 repeating next to the number. And that is our answer. Let's look at the next example. Again, we're going to divide 3 divided by 8. We can't do it, so we put the 0. We bring down a 0, and that would be 3. 3 times 8 is 24, so we have 6 left over. Bring down another 0, which is 7. That is 56. We have a 4 left over. Bring down another 0, and that is 5. So 3/8 is 375 thousandths. And now that we need to write that as a decimal number, we can't forget the whole part, which is the 31, and the 375 thousandths. The next example, we have to pass now from decimal to mixed number. And again, just like we saw in the previous example, 7 is going to be our whole part. And now we have to see what this decimal represents as a fraction. Now, if we read that, that is 1/100ths. So that would be 1/100. And that's the answer. In this case, we're going to do the same. 2 is going to be our whole number. And then 352 over 1,000, because that is 352 thousandths. Now, remember that we always have to simplify or reduce whenever we can. So in this case, we get 500 if we divide by half, and we get 176 if we divide by half. Now, those can be reduced more, so we divide by 2 again. And that's 88 over 250, which again we can reduce more, and that is 44 over 125. and that would be our answer. So that's it. Very simple lesson to review all these different conversions. All right, see you in the next video.